a witch is attempting to re-enter the White House.
I know. Isn't this interesting?
Yeah, this title grabbed me for
He's
sure.
on witches the first quarter of the word, like in the world and what they shouldn't be doing. Okay.
Right.
And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, a witch is attempting to re-enter the White House, says the Lord. Yes, in this time that re-entry is being attempted, as it is not a White House at all, but a haunted house, says the Lord. As the halls have been filled with tormentors, sorcery, thieves, and jackals, it is a haunt, a taunt, and a byword, as it has become a symbol of weakness to other nations, looking to get hooks in the coasts and the ports where resources lie. For there are nations of red that are entering a famine, says the Lord. The resources and food supply have thinned, and they have in their desperation attempted to do reconnaissance on such areas. Watch Alaska in this hour, says the Lord, and the maneuver that is attempted as they circle closer, says the Lord.
Wow. So what do you think about specifically about Alaska? Was there any kind of knowing or anything that you received of that word?
Well, when you think about Alaska has, I believe, many untapped resources.
Okay.
Combined with a lot of people suffering from poverty and depression, which creates this vacuum in a way for somebody corrupt, or a nation that's corrupt, or a company that's corrupt to come in.
Yeah.
And try to entice. Alaska also, I mean, look at, you know what I mean? Look at where it's positioned.
Right. It's
in the
right.
US, you know what I mean? So that's a strategic position there for other nations.
Right. It's right there. It's very close to Russia and so on and so forth.
Alaska is going to be under a microscope more and more. That's what I think.
And then too, when the Lord uses the word maneuver, like automatically I think military. Like when I hear that word, I'm thinking military too, with something with that. But anyways, just, you know, I don't know if that's what he meant by that, but
it could very well be. I mean, we'll see. But I think someone, and it's only one of three in my mind that I'm thinking, is going to get dangerously close. You know, and you know, to try to test the resolve here because of who's in office.
That right. Yeah. Now is a strategic time to do what they need to do. And we see that actually happening. We're seeing all the things happening because of who's in power.
And if it would happen, I would say now it would happen. Only because of what's happening with Israel.
Right.
And the United States is now sending carriers there and resources. And so this would be a time, you know, for nations that have an interest in seeing Israel harmed and destroyed, trying to intimidate the United States that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll keep our eyes on that.
Okay.
And then, okay, that's all my questions for that one that I wrote down, because I was going through your notes earlier today and I was thinking maneuver is a really interesting word that the Lord used. But okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this is the part we talked about, but it goes into a second part. So thus says the Lord, there shall be awe in your nation. A stampede of elephants and donkeys shall in this hour be seen. What is behind the inquiry is exposed, says the Lord. The timing of such things is crucial, my capital children. Watch the timing of a second inquiry, says the Lord. In the den of thieves, says the Lord, for Congress is a den of thieves, says the Lord, all robbing each other and robbing and stripping your nation. Congress shall be sifted if they refuse to operate in righteousness in this hour. I, the Lord, am watching, O Congress. Choose wisely in this hour. Choose wisely, O Speaker, for it shall be your seat. If you do, that's capitalized, do not set a foundation of righteousness and truth in this hour. For truth must, that's capitalized, be pursued, says the Lord. It must. And those in position must pursue it, or the serpent shall consume them, and there shall be early retirement for many, says the Lord. Okay. Wow. And says the Spirit of the Lord this day, this is the hour of Daniel's being rescued from the den of lions and the officials in government who attempted to put them there. This is the hour, says the Lord. For I, the Lord thy God, will protect those who are doing my will. That's capitalized. I will defend and protect, says the Lord. Align with my capital will, says the Lord. For those who stand accused by the same spirit that operated through the high officials of Daniel's time to accuse him, I, the Lord, am making mockery of those officials. I am making a laughing stock of them. They shall fall for what they have done. For I, the Lord, shut the mouth of the lions. I, the Lord, have the power to trample young lions and serpents underfoot. And behold, I have given that power unto you, my children. This indeed is the hour where the lion's den turns on the thieves and officials who attempted to move those out of the way that would not come into agreement with their covens and thievery and scoundrel behavior, says the Lord. For the scoundrels shall be rounded up, says the Lord.
You know, something really important that we have to remember what the Lord said in this is for those who stand accused by the same spirit. So it is this same spirit working, even of what we're seeing in attacks against the Jewish people from Hamas.
Yes.
It's the same spirit that Herod had, that Pharaoh had. It's all the same spirit. So if people could understand that, this is not something new that we're dealing with, you know?
No. This is a very ancient demon. This is a very ancient ruler of the darkness that we're dealing with.
Right, exactly.
And who's under it. Yeah.